I'm half African, so it's I got family roots from a few different places there, like Tono and Benin, which I went to visit Benin last year, Senegal and Nigeria, and so it's something I'm really proud of. I'm really proud of that part of the world. I think it is the most beautiful part of the world, and I don't like that the rest of the world owns so much of it and takes so much from it, and no one speaks about it. And I'm really looking forward to hoping that the people that are running those different countries will unite and come together and take Africa back. That's what I want to see. We'll unite and come together and take Africa back. That's what I want to see. Take it back from the French, take it back from the Spanish, take it back from the Portuguese and the British. It's so important for the future of that country and for that continent.
Hello, my people. As you can see in that short video clip that Lewis Hamilton has urged Africa to take back control. You know what I mean? And it takes a big courage for him to make this kind of statement. We need people in his status, to be making this kind of statement so that we know if they can wake up most of our sleeping leaders in Africa, because to take back control, the power rests in the people in charge of Africa. You know what I mean? And the sad case about this stuff is that in most of the African countries, the colonizers, when they left, those that took over, they decided to put on a calendar in most African countries Independence Day. People they celebrate Independence Day in Africa, but this is a sham because Africa was not really independent. Most of African countries are not independent. I know there's one African country that have never been colonized, Ethiopia, but the rest have been colonized or still being colonized up to today. You know what I mean? The colonizers, they never left. What they did is that they put they put their representative, and those representatives, those that represent them, are the leaders we have today. Except few. Where we have like a country like Mali, Burkina Faso, stuff like that want to take back some control, but at the same time, they're still handing over some control because when you see them, they're working with Russians, and the other people that, they're not known for colonizing Africa, but these people, whatever the other colonizer did, they will likely follow in their footsteps or even do more, you know what I mean? So it's good that we see somebody like Lewis Hamilton, he's a millionaire, he's a rich person, and his money is tied with the dominant society, you know what I mean? It takes a man with a good heart and a big, with a great courage to come out and said, oh, look, Africa, you need to take back control, and it's not about taking just 50% control back. You have to take 100% control. You know what I mean? And he's not ashamed to say that. He said he has a root in Africa. And what gives me joy about his big statements is that he mentioned all these African colonizers. He mentioned all of them by name, so that I was thinking he's gonna miss one, but he knows them. I think this guy knows Africa very well, or at least 80%. You know what I mean? But the problem is that this statement, is like somebody preaching to the choir, because these our African leaders, they never change. The stuff those this African, most of them, not all of them, I don't see them taking back control. What they do is that instead of taking back control, they give back their control to their colonizers, in terms of how they don't want to improve the life of their people. You know what I mean? Taking back controls will start by making life, good for your people, making things very easy for your people to do, sharing the resources, natural resources, the profit from natural resources should be shared to people that have it, not for the few politicians and their families and their friends to be, sharing this profit from natural African abundant natural resources. And another thing, taking back control is that, is even if is Africa is known for having natural resources, but the problem is that you might have natural people have natural resources, but they don't even know what to do with it. That's the problem again we have in Africa, because even before the colonizers came to Africa, we have natural resources in Africa, but people that live there, like our forefathers lived there, they didn't see the need of exploring and using these natural resources to improve their life. You know what I mean? That's why when the when the when the colonizers came, they took advantage of them. That's why. But it's not like left on their own, they're not gonna discover this natural. They would, but it might take longer time than when the colonizers came, the time colonizers came. But it's just that it was so slow. Our forefathers were so slow in using what they have to improve the life of their people, of our people, before the colonizers came and they take advantage. You know what I mean? Because if Africa had been developed or even have their own protection, like in terms of ammunition, the colonizers will not penetrate. You know what I mean? They will run away. I'm telling you, they will run away. But because they came with force, that's why they were able to subjugate our people and put some stooges in places of power, and those stooges declared that Africa are independent, but they are never independent. You know what I mean? It's gonna take time, but we need somebody like more people in the same status, or even more bigger than Lewis Hamilton, to be talking about taking control back. You know what I mean? And the right thing is to take control back. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our video. Peace.